Well, it's January 15th, and once again, we've kind of been in the radio silent treatment for a little bit. I'm not one of those people who will, go on Twitter and demand for news and all that, because, like I say, I can wait patiently. But the more and more we wait and wait and wait, we just get more disinterested in what we actually want to hear. And playing other games has made me kind of go, okay, when I come back to TCM, I can still do well with the game. Like, for instance, playing today, it felt weird because I'm just like, this game is just so stale because there's nothing to really grind for. But half the time I'm playing the game, it kind of just goes to show that, like, the amount of time that they had to make the game and whatever, like, the motion capture, whatever, etc. I kind of say to myself, well, I wonder how much time they had, because it seems to me like they got the base game out to rush it, and there's just really nothing else to grind for. Now, I know a lot of people have their opinions on a battle pass, and I think this game needs one, only because it can help them fund the game, adding charms. They're quite popular, different skins you can unlock, even though in my opinion the bloody skin outfit should have been free to earn in the game or something. There should be different unlockables, like imagine Cook having like a sweater, imagine like Hitchhiker having like this different hairstyles or something. I don't know. I feel like this game could have had cooler customization, but I guess they wanted to stay true to the lore, whatever, which I respect, but at the same time, I begin to digress even more and more. Now, don't get me wrong, like, I like the game, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the fun core gameplay of it, but at the same time, playing the same stuff over and over again just gets really boring. Like playing Danny again, like, I know he's a pay to win character, everyone knows that, but people saying like, oh, he's not broken at all, and we suck. No, that's not the case at all, because if that's the case, then we should be winning every game, but at the same time, it's like, I'm all about having fun, and that's just how I play. Like, when I load up the game and play Cook, and I get like really bad teammates and I have to do all the work, and even though I try to do all the work and I can't, then that's how like, we're in a bad situation here. There's no real incentive to really grind the game. There's just no progression going forward after level 99. Now, when I keep in mind when I say is that, like, I'm not demanding content, because I'm not, like, I can be patient as much as I need to be, but there comes a point, there will be a time where people are going to say the game is stale, and right now it is. I'm just saying, if they don't start pumping something, like, I don't care if it's a teaser or whatever, like something to give us some good insight that something good is going to happen, and that's, something that's going to keep the game interesting. I know Steam doesn't really determine the player base, but like, Xbox Game Pass has made this game more popular only because it's Xbox. Steam's numbers have been dwindling more and more. I think there's like less than 1,000 players, or even less than that. I don't even know the exact number at this moment, but I can tell you that it's not that great. I begin to question like what's going to happen, because Wes saying, oh, 6 to 9 months worth of content, that kind of says like, well, tell me they have something planned. There needs to be something there. Everyone's worried about content. Everyone's worried about what they're going to be doing next. What's the plan? And obviously, like, me playing different games, I've been playing like Lego Marvel Superheroes again. I've been playing Evil Dead once again, as I said in the last one, and playing like single player games. Like, those really set the standard tone of like, oh, I can just appreciate TCM more by playing another game to kind of just chill, because TCM can be very draining when you have horrible teammates that will, or not just rough teammates, just rough games in general that will make you frustrated. Now, I'm not saying like I get mad every time I lose. No, the only time I ever get annoyed is like when somebody trolls, or like a character is just really stupid and strong, like Danny, for instance. Now, this is the one thing I will not accept, okay? Gunn getting death threats is not okay. I think anyone who sends death threats to Gunn are a piece of shit. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna put Gunn on a high pedestal and say, you know, they're doing a great job on the game. They've had their moments where they've done really well, and then there's moments that make absolutely no sense to where I question their, you know, longevity. I can't even say the word, or a long time of the game, you know, being out. You know, like right now, my current faith in the game is that I don't see it lasting for more than 2 years because of just how it seems to me like them saying 6 to 9 months worth of content. Yet, content of what? Just the first movie? Just the first part of the movie? Because like this game is a prequel. Like it sets 3 months before the actual game. The devs said they don't want to do a thing called the Texas verse, even though in reality it's like it doesn't matter if the game sets 3 months before the film. Like people want to see the movie characters. They want to see TCM 2. They want to see Chop Top. They want to see all these other characters come into the fix and fit in with a timeline. You know, like it doesn't matter if the film characters are skins for the game characters that y'all created. People still want it anyway. It doesn't matter if you don't want to call it a Texas verse. You might as well, because that way you can fund the game more with the characters that they want. They don't need to be paid to win $10 characters. They can literally just be characters that, you know, it could be $5 or something, or $3, something to keep the game alive and interesting. You know, but something like me loading up the game to play, and I'm just like, bro, like, why? There's just nothing really for me to do besides just content. Like on Evil Dead, I could play Demon for hours and just chill and play that. But, you know, Demon games can also be frustrating, but at the same time, as long as I take my breaks every now and then, it's not an issue. But, you know, as long, like, TCM is a fun game, like, when you have friends to play with, but, like, when you're solo queue, it can get rough. You know, teammates not paying attention to their surroundings, you know, you playing victim and not being aware of who you're grappling with Leland, you know. When you're playing solo and you're playing Cook, and you're, you know, fucking, you know, what, like 1v4ing the whole team when your teammates aren't doing jack shit, and you can't gap between those walls, you know, it's just terrible to play. You know, the game just has a lot of issues. The devs seem to, like, they pay attention to feedback well, apparently, but at the same time, the feedback hasn't really been on the positive side. You know, for example, like, if I can give one example, like, Connie is still very dumb, you know, just instantly picking a lock. You know, Danny's still strong. Leatherface still doesn't have his mallet yet, and people don't really enjoy the character only for one reason. That's because of gameplay issues. You know, him taking too long to break stuff, break a pallet or a barricade or a freaking crawl space. That's the word. Call it crawl space in a pallet. You know, he takes too long to break stuff. He when he stalls, he doesn't have any weapon to compensate for him to swing again. You know, having a mallet would help that. You know, Johnny's lunge is still busted. You know, he can just keep continuously lunge over and over. They brought it back without reworking him well, and that wasn't a fix. That was just a way to bandage that up until whenever the time they can do it again, and that just worries me more and more. So I don't know what's going to happen next, but we need something to kind of get to a compromise where people will want to feel intrigued to play the game again. But we can't just take the fact that we have characters that just have issues, and lots of issues, but I don't know what Gunn is going to do. I don't know what Sumo might have planned, but we need to figure out something quick, because we're all on a boat where we're taking two different directions. But we'll see what happens. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, stay groovy.